Yeah, good evening, one and all. Sorry for the delay. Uh, yeah, Christina, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, Christina, can you hear me? Yeah, good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development. On occasion of World Social Work Month and World Health Month, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, International Conference on Social Work and Sciences towards One Health and Sustainable Development, in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue towards our sessions. Today we have Christina Kigun from Nigeria. She will be presenting on the social effects of drug abuse on the community, the study of community in Nigeria.
I'm on now.
Okay.
Yeah, over to you.
I'm happy.
It's on your video.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon for you. Good evening for all of us.
Oh yes, this is afternoon in Nigeria.
Yeah. Welcome. We welcome you.
Thank you, Doctor. Sorry for the network glitch.
Yeah.
Hope everyone is settled.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be your anchor on the topic: social effects of drug abuse on the community. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Kindly proceed to your session on social effect of drug abuse on community.
Yes, it's
Communities in Nigeria.
a study in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I go on?
Yeah, please go ahead. I have completed
please.
your introduction.
Oh yeah, thank you. My name is Christiana Kigun. I saw that you have that already on my profile. My name is Christiana Kigun for the benefit of the audience. I am a Nigerian. I am a social worker by profession. I hold a master's degree in social work and administration and a master's degree in public administration from the universities in Nigeria, University of Jos and National Open University of Nigeria. I practice in the field of mental health and psychosocial support. I want to start my introduction by trying to just explain what drug abuse means to anybody or to us this afternoon. Drug abuse occurs when an individual uses drugs in an unhealthy way. And this can include using more medication without prescription from any medical personnel. And it also includes using someone else's prescription to acquire that medication. That can be considered drug abuse. And also, other drugs can be abused, like cannabis, which is called, like in Nigeria, we have cannabis, we have marijuana, we have some street names like Kush and the rest. But the known name is cannabis. Okay, and also there are drugs like alcohol, medical drugs like tramadol, codeine, Rufinol, and other drugs are abused. So abuse is the use on the illegal use of such drugs for either medical purposes or for other purposes. Like for tramadol here in Nigeria, people use it to gain extra energy for whatever reason. Like for people that do physical tasks, they use tramadol to enhance their strength, to go beyond the usual energy, and to go beyond the usual limit that they should ordinarily go. So if I have your permission, I will end my explanation on what drug abuse is, if I have that permission. Going to effects of drugs and categories of people that can be affected by these drugs in the community. We have adolescents and young people, and we have the elderly people, because the elderly people also use drugs. They use drugs from certain ages to their old age, and some people get hooked on it. So drug addiction or drug abuse can also be found even among the elderly. And we also have the categories of people like the veterans. We have medical professionals, surprisingly, who are supposed to be more careful and more responsible when it comes to using drugs. We also find them in the circle of drug abusers. And also we have pregnant women who take drugs and also do injecting drugs. And we also have categories of persons like young children who also abuse drugs like alcohol, tramadol, codeine, Rufinol. So that makes it, that makes the drug use a menace in Nigeria. And that has hampered a lot of progress, that has hampered a lot of development in our communities. We have a lot of school dropouts. We have a lot of youth on the streets who have broken down mentally. We have a lot of dysfunctionality in our communities as a result of drug use. And that makes it a social risk and a social effect on the communities in Nigeria. Nigeria is quite broad, so I want to limit my scope of discussion to Plateau State, Nigeria, where I currently based in. In Plateau State, Nigeria, we have a lot of drug hubs. We have a lot of communities that have been researched and found to be red spots for drug use. And we have different categories of people who are victims or who are found with drug using problems. Now, as professionals, language is changing. So we are not in any way permitted to use a derogatory term to refer to people who use drugs. And of course, the way a social worker, a psychologist, and other health professionals are supposed to look at drug users or refer to them should be quite different from the way every other person might want to look at them or want to refer to them. So I will at this point use the correct terminologies that have been recommended to be used by professionals. So for drug abuse, I intentionally use the term drug abuse because it was captured in my topic. So, but using it correctly, I would say drug use or drug misuse. And for the person who has the problem, whom we might want to refer to as drug abuser, can be seen, can be referred to as someone with problematic drug use or somebody with drug use problems. If I have your audience, I wish that we go by this correction. We take this correction and maybe apply them going forward. I don't know how it is in your country, in India, but this are some of the changes we are having here in Nigeria. And one more thing to add concerning issues around drug use and challenges that we see in our communities and society every day is the fact that treatment for drug dependency is not cheap. Treatment facilities are not very much available. The cheapest place to access help or treatment is in the government public hospitals, and they are managed in the psychiatric units of the hospitals. And even in the government hospitals, treatment for drug addiction is not cheap. And in Nigeria, we have the support of the United Nations helping to curb the menace of drug use and also helping to subsidize treatment fees and rates in Nigeria. Are you listening to me?
Yes, please continue.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
So looking at the topic of discussion properly, which is social effects of drug abuse on the community, I started by saying depressant addiction. In depressant addiction individuals often think that their substance abuse only impacts them. Perhaps if you are suffering from addiction, you sometimes think it's your problem, but not knowing that it goes a long way to affect your significant others who constitute your family, your friends, your loved ones, your classmates, your colleagues at work, and all of that. So substance use does not just affect the user, but it also affects his significant others. Also, some areas that we find these problems visible are in functioning on jobs and in schools. Like I said earlier, that here in Nigeria, one of the commonest problems that people can visibly see are default or not doing very well academically, leading to large rate or great level of school dropouts. And for even those that manage to finish, they don't get to finish with good grades. And daily, I have the privilege of working in different treatment centers in the Nigerian correctional services. We have a lot of contacts and opportunities to work there. And majorly, we have carried out field researches, which tells us that even crime, that drug use and crime are connected. Most crimes are committed under the influence of. So, for example, who are drug dependent commit crimes like murder, homicide offenses, criminal offenses, and all of that under the influence of drug use. And one thing that has been found common with drug use that promotes the chaos and it alters human behavior, it alters the mind too. Many people in the prison have drug problems and have become mentally ill as a result of drug use. And we know that most times our constitution has our constitution has a portion that, particularly the Lunacy Act, states that you cannot try a mentally ill person in the court of law. But a lot of perpetrators of crime have been arrested and sentenced to, some on death row, some on life sentences, and some on certain of sentence as a result of a fair without proper care. So what the roles we play going to the prison is very low level in the prison. So that aspect of crime, drugs and crime has increased the problem of the challenges encountered in the community, because of course an individual is first of all an individual, and then from a family or from a group, and the group constitutes the family also makes up the community. So these are some of the few social effects or impacts of social of drug use in Nigeria, just to mention but a few. Hello, doctor, are you there?
Yeah, please continue.
Hello.
Do you have any problem? Or have you done with your presentation?
Yes.
You can continue if you have
Before I
something.
proceed, do you want to have do you have any question for me?
Have you completed your presentation?
Hello.
So participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put in chat box.
Okay. Okay.
I think there is some network issue, I think. Can you hear me? She is having some technical issues, network issues. Let's wait for some time for her to join, otherwise we will conclude the session. Okay, I think the speaker has lost her connection. Anyway, she was able to successfully complete her session. So we thank Christina Kigun for her session on social effects of drug abuse on the community, a study of communities in Nigeria. She has been practicing social work in medical social work in the hospital setting and as well as community development and services in communities, and also forensic social work with the Nigerian Prison Service, psychiatry and mental health as a clinical social worker. She has played, I mean, various roles in various settings. So she has a very good experience with the presentation. We know that we could gain insights into things. And as we know, Africa, there are a lot of drug abuse cases because lots of drug abuse and this mafia and a lot of things they are cultivated and they are highly being promoted. So there are challenges also as well to control and to prevent in spite of laws in force. So there are various challenges, especially for the social workers, as she has mentioned. So it was very insightful on various aspects. So we thank on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing for joining us and for giving insightful session and sharing on this wonderful platform. And we thank all the participants as well for joining us. And today we mark World Book Day. So let's have few minutes dedicated to that, and we will be sharing the feedback form link in the chat box. Give me some time. Yeah. Today is also World Book and Copyright Day. So especially we have seen in uncertain times, we must cherish and defend books as symbol of hope and dialogue. Books have been long embodied the human capacity to conjure up words, both real and imagined, giving voice to the diversity of human experience. They help us share ideas, obtain information, and inspire admiration for different cultures, enabling far-reaching forms of dialogue between people across space and time. So how do we read books, or how do we, what is the effective way for reading books? Can anyone unmute or put in chat box? What is the effective way to read books or present books? Can unmute yourself or put in chat box your responses. Is it audible for everyone? Can I have any response through chat or voice? Are you all there or just logged in and off desk? Or do you have any issue unmuting yourself? You can raise your hand. In such case, we can help you to unmute. Am I audible? I'm getting no response. So shall I treat that no one is available? Shall I end the meeting or?